I have had it. I am pissed off to the highest level of festivity. Now I'm taking these kids home now. Not now, but right now.
But Baby isn't home yet.
No, she's home. I know she's home. And she's home getting her boot smoked right now, just like you could be. But no, you want to sit here and watch these badass kids. Now, if she didn't want to watch them, she shouldn't have had them.
She didn't have them by herself, Robin.
What you saying Robin for? I ain't did that, eh?
At least you recognize that they do have one. I don't see nobody shaking their heads, pointing their fingers at him.
Now, what you want to go and point the finger at old Slewfoot for, huh? I thought the devil was through when they made Rosemary's Baby. But, oh no, now we got Baby's kids.
These kids, they don't have freedom anymore because there's nothing for them to do. You can't go out and just run the streets and play. Because when we was coming up, we could leave the house, go run everywhere we want to go, but we always had to be back home before it get dark. Wasn't no guns, no knife, no. Other than like we have 15, I have 15 sisters and brothers, and we was all raised by one person. That's our mama. And like if I know these, like during this society right now, this generation, everything is being put off on the men not being able to do this or that, and which is correct. Because we got so many men that's in jail for a bunch of little stuff that the parents, everything goes back to your parents. And if you got one parent in the house, most of which all of us do is just a lady, and that'd be your mama or your grandmama. Most of these kids stay with one or the other, and the dads, either they in jail or don't care. All they want to do is go around and make babies and brag about it. But when it comes to taking care of, you can't find them. And like when we was coming up, everybody had something to do. And mama, she raised all of us by herself. And out of all 15 kids, we have never been in no trouble. Nobody's never been in jail other than I went for a parking ticket and I didn't go and appear. and I got arrested because I had a bench warrant out for me. And when I went to court, all I had to do was pay $1 because it was so old and so wasn't nothing. The judge, they laughed about wondering why I was there in the first place. Cause I didn't know why I was there either. But other than that, we haven't had nobody with anything with. So that's why the main thing I be talking about, like the mothers. The mothers you can get your child, cause all the kids, everybody is being raised by women, the mom. And the mom can stop a lot of this stuff. I know, a lot of stuff is being built upon the women got to do this, she got to do everything, and the woman can't teach a man. That's not true. She can't teach a man how to be a man on certain things. But my mama taught I got 9 brothers, 6 sisters. And out of the 9 brothers, mama raised all of us and taught us what she knew about life. And now they don't have an open idea about how to talk to your children. Most people don't even talk to the kids anymore. And for us, like these guns, number one person that can really help curb some of that is the mamas. And I ain't putting it on them that like they is, but how many kids you know disrespect their mama? Anytime your mama tell you to do something, you do it. Each each generation go through a different phase because my mama generation said that she want us to be better than they were. My generation, I want my kids to be better than what I am. You want them to, be better, but you don't want them to go, be a fool and out there doing something in and everything. And that's part of our problem. We couldn't get away with a lot of stuff because well, it wasn't. She didn't have a line to cross. Only time Mama had the line that we had to cross was when most of the time we were fighting amongst ourselves. The sister and brother, we doing all this kind of fighting and stuff like that, or we break something or tear up something. Then that's when Mama come in the job and do her nose. She tell you one time to quit. If you don't, then you got a butt whooping. And you didn't want that from Mama. But Mama was she just like the big O. But when Mama tell you something, Mama mean, and don't let her, she'll let it pile up on you sometime. You being did something, you think you didn't got away with it? You ain't got away with nothing because next 1 minute, then when she decide to get you, she whoop you what you doing now. Then she wait and say, I ain't through with you. Remember last week when I told you to do this and you didn't do it? Then she give you us to remind you, let you know, hey, I didn't forget. I let you by, and you still you didn't take that as a good sign and quit messing up. So now you're gonna get double, and that's exactly what we did. Like, we was covered up every New Year. Everybody in the house got a whooping. Mama said no. It was our old saying: "To whoop you on New Year, the way she won't have to whoop you no more during the year." And most time after we get our little whooping on New Year, after New Year, the whole year we might get one or two more whoopings. And that because she didn't know we didn't stretch it too far. You know how you always want to stretch stuff. You're gonna go a little, see how far you can go. And when you go too far, you'll know it. Cause I'm talking about what I say. Everybody, well, your girl, mama and F and them was married. If they in that household, she'll give a couple of licks or something, but not a real. But on New Year, anybody in that house but we knew we were gonna get it on New Year. We tried to outsmart Mama. Boy, New Year we put on 3 or 4 pair of pants and shirts and coats. So that way, when you get a whooping, you won't feel it that much. And Mama just cook, do like she normally do through the day. Next thing you know, you done got hot. You pull some of this off. And by the time you get back down to that one layer, about midday or something, because it be hot to the sea. Then that's when she make us line up. I always made myself to be in the middle, cause the first one they get they get good hard licks, and then the last one he get it good too, because she done saved the energy building up for the ones in the middle. We just, you don't get it as bad as the first and the last one. The last one should be so happy that she get ready. This is the last one. She'll hit you 4 or 5 licks and that's it. And I never did want to be in the. I always been in the middle. That's what they always. Me and James used to fuss and fight about who gonna be in the middle. You get in front of me. You get behind me. We be doing all that, and whoever in front of us, the line just started moving. But it's a lot of stuff that they did back then that we don't do. And I said, this is something I would never put on my kids. Like that cow liver oil, castor oil. And we had some stuff where they call hog hoof teeth, the toenail of a pig. They would put it in a pot, boil, let them, burn a little, then put water in it, like it'd be a broth like. And she hold out. We had to hold our door because we couldn't stand the smell. And give everybody a spoonful. But we have never been sick. Only the first time I ever went to a doctor was when I went to the Army. It worked. I call your Uncle George and ask him about that.
I'm gonna hit him up with big
Mm-hmm.
toenail.
That we used to call a hog hoof. The hoof, though, that cost it.
Well,
Well,
in the pot and some water and boil it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they make tea out of it. And when
My wife would divorce me after.
I would help her. No, that's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. But we ain't never been sick. We ain't never had colds. Every now and then you have a cold.
That's the biggest gym ever. Like they got cats on the internet that be talking crazy. Like they got drop this major gym.
Well, I know that's what we used to do. That, like I said, we never was sick. And she give everybody, and she only do it once a year.
So is it like with the whooping? So you get the
no, you get the tea about a couple of weeks later.
Martin Luther King Day, probably.
Well, we didn't have Martin Luther King Day.
I'm tripping. See how I'm young.
What they say?
I'm glad this recorded.
A lot of the young families not doing that we did as old was go to church. When we were growing up, every Sunday, everybody in the house had to go to church. Nowadays, the mama, she might go, the dad might not go. The kids, if they want to, they won't. If they do, they do. They don't, they don't. But when we was coming up, that was a number one, that was a requirement. On Sunday was we call it, that was a family day. You go to church as a family, come back home and eat as a family, mom did and cook. Well, on Sunday we had cake. Cause it was so bitter, we couldn't get cake every day of the week or nothing like that. But on Sunday, we automatically know Mama gonna fix some kind of a cake for us. That was our sweet. And go to church, come home and eat. After we eat, then you're free. Go do whatever you want to do, but you gotta be back home before dark. If dark now is 9 o'clock, I have to be home to 9 o'clock. But if it's dark at 6 o'clock in the evening, I gotta be home at 6 o'clock. I don't care, like different seasons, it get daylight earlier, later, and all that. So we had to follow about the way the daylight was. As long as they you're out there doing what you want to do, we're not getting in any kind of trouble. You go to different people's houses, and you go to somebody else's house. No, should they feed you just right along like they feeding their kid, give you a snack or whatever. And cause everybody was a family. You can't do that nowadays. You can't, now we don't even go visit our own cousins, relatives. You can't go to their house and get something to eat sometime. No, this right here for me next week. I have seen people do that. And that's another thing, but by going to church every Sunday, that kind of makes you all your badness or some things that you're going in your life that you want to change on Sundays when you go to church and listen to the preaching, listen to the word, and listen to the singing. It does something to you. You know, how in your bones, in your sides, they're everywhere. You feel it. Back in our day, they call it old school now. We never did nothing like that. We always had family around, and family could discipline each other. No, I could do something to my niece and nephew. I see them doing wrong, I could discipline. I could get them in line, talk to them and tell them something. And if need be, I could whoop them. But no, I'm never been a whooping person because I think no, whooping it. Some people say it don't do no good, but make a child angry. But it also make a child respect you too. Bring that in there, and they know what they can and can't do. Cause just like a lot of these young kids, you walk around, you see them falling out in the store, crying and hollering, I want this, and then you don't give it to them, they just act up. But when Mama took us out to the store or somewhere, and no, naturally you're gonna find something in the store you want. And if Mama tell us we can't have it, we go put it back. Because if we start acting for food in that store, Mama acting for food right with us, right there. And that break all that stuff up. You acting food, the little kids you can't, you don't have to beat them, but you can give them a good shake. Sometimes they call that, everything you do now is child abuse. But I would rather abuse my child and telling them what's right than not what is wrong. Because when it's wrong and you let them get away with it and they constantly getting away with it, what avenue do you have? You don't have nothing but, I'm gonna take your toy. And when you take the toy, they don't care. Cause a few minutes later, you got some of these little bad rascals, you take it, before you know it, they back in there, they went found it and got it again, daring you to say something. Mm-hmm. But that's the time I would have to tighten that little dude up for. No, it's a way to spank a child, but don't beat him like we was beat. Cause back in my day, extension cord wasn't nothing to get a whooping with. Leave whelps everywhere on your body. But once you get that kind of whooping, shit, you ain't gonna do nothing that you don't want if you got that kind of sense. Cause most of kids don't. I can't explain it. How they are privileged. They think that we owe them something. We don't owe you nothing. We brought you here. We take care of you, we feed you, we give you a place to stay. We're doing everything that as a parent we're supposed to do. And all you gotta do as a child is grow and enjoy your life, learn how to read, learn how to be independent a little of yourself. Mm-hmm. And one, no, that's all we ask. That's all I ask my kids to do. If you know when they're in school, that first thing I do is make sure that they did what they're supposed to do. Now, daughter graduated from Butler University, works for a major company, Simon and Simon, different, and make, so I don't know what they make, but good money. But she got that education, and they had time to learn and study. That's all they had to do was study. And once you get them past the 4th or 5th grade, if you be to steal that in about them books, 10th, 12th grade, they just think that's part of everyday life. I gotta go ahead and do my homework. I gotta go do it. That's just a repetitive thing that you have to, do. And once you get that instilled in them while they're young, when they get older, they still have that in them. And we don't do that now. The young people don't do it. You got a lot of the ones that does that. They the ones that have went to college and trained themselves be independent. And then a lot of them that all of them ain't grown. No, they grown, but they, I always consider my kids. And hell, they 50, 55 years old or more. But you still treat them like a child. Not treat them like a child, you think of them as your child. And if you have a good relationship when you grew up with them, groomed them, you can go to them and tell them anything, talk to them about anything, and they will come back to you and talk to you about any and everything. All you gotta do is ask.
That's why you said you don't believe in that whole stepdaddy.
Everything you do, when first thing a young person do, the first person they call is mama. Where's my mama? I want my mama. Call mama, tell mama this, because mama is the key. She the center. She the beginning, end, and just what say the end, cause at the beginning, she gonna bring you life, and when you die, and most mamas want to outlive their kids. And with these nowadays, you see your kids going before your mama because of guns and killing. Back then, you find more men that get in their old age, it's because they wasn't in the streets. The ones that was in the street, they dead or jail.
Lexington, you come from an era where y'all was making 45, almost 30 plus an hour a day in the day.
And that was back in the 70s. 70, 80, when I retired in 2004. And before, and I retired at 55 because shit, I made them. I had sense to save my body and put stuff back. Back then, so nowadays it's hard to even get $30. $30 if you work with a college degree now. Some of them is not even getting that much anymore because the job is so technology. And if you don't have that technology sense, you ain't gonna be making no big money. Big money is in technology. The only way you get technology is learn. And how you learn? Through them books. Everything go back to education. If you want to make something, everybody, a lot of people satisfied with a little bit. I'm not that type. I ain't satisfied with $200 a week or what they gonna do? They ain't even paying my rent, my bill now. The people rent is such up in there $700-800. That's just for a 1-bedroom apartment, and that's a low grade apartment. You get a decent area, decent apartment, you're talking about $1,500-$1,600 a month. And where you gonna get that working at a McDonald's? You don't make that much a month for what your rent is.
Mm-hmm.
So for the rest of your life, you gotta still pay for your light, water, gas, food, gas for your car, your transportation. So that's the one good reason to get an education, so you can do better for yourself. Well, I can't say all men. A lot of men can start stepping up now. I'm encouraged with some of the young men that I see now because some men, you have a lot of men raising their kids by themselves. The woman is gone, it's out the picture. And those men never get credit. And like, I have a friend. His wife died when the baby was born at birth, and he raised that girl up by himself with no help or anything, because that's his baby, and he is responsible for it, and he's doing everything to show her and do respect and love and teaching her. And most they say, oh, man don't know how to talk, to teach anybody nothing, because all they want to do is watch football, but they go to ballet, just like if a man will do anything in the world for his kid. Once they love him, to show them how much they love him. Mm-hmm. And they go to a lot of stuff that they wouldn't even think about going to do, but if they got a child that want to do and like to do, they do. And that's why I say these young men now, some of them, they're doing everything in the book to make their child better, teaching them better, showing them what kind of man they should be with. Don't look your dad can tell your daughters different things what to look at, because we used to do that. And we know how, everybody Hollywood, you talking back way back in 1950. The only thing changed is the year, the time, the way everything you're doing in life. It ain't no different than what I did. Only thing, you got some modern stuff that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. But you still growing up the same way that I did. You still bleed like I bleed. So it ain't, the year, every year, like I say, each parent want their child to be better than what they are. And by being better, it ain't that they, physically better, but they're talking about mentally providing, and won't have to go just like chopping cotton. We used to have to chop cotton and everything else to get all the extra money. But now they got jobs where these kids can go to and work in the summer programs and stuff. They got all that new stuff now. And all they gotta do is have the willpower and to get up and go about yourself to do it. We say, we ain't talking about no little tap like that. It'd be just like you did something wrong, and you ain't did nothing but got up out of bed. But the other 364 days, you free. You get up, you don't have to worry. But all that January 1st, boy, you ought to see. We know it coming. I don't care what you do, you know you can't outrun it. We would get up early in the morning and go out, get in the yard, go down the street and play, do everything. Keep from being at home. But you gotta come home, so you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna come home and eat. When you come home, that's you ready for you. So like we try to run, you can run, but you can't hide. Just about have to have an education to work at McDonald's. Because they did all this, they got different machines, you gotta learn how to operate and stuff. And that's still, it's a low paying job or what. But you gotta have some kind of sense in order to do that. If we just would start, if these 19-year-olds and older, you know you didn't do nothing when you were in school. You know you realize everything that you done missed, and you're trying to get out there in the streets and stuff like that. So, and you find out the streets ain't nothing but the street. It ain't nowhere. You ain't got no house to live in. You ain't got nothing. You know, food on the table or nothing in the street. In the street, you just run, but you always have to run back home to somebody. And so that's why I say most time they run back home to mom. And like I was real close with my mom. Me and mama, I could call. I've been sick. I lived here, and I lived in Fort Wayne. She lived in Jackson. I would call her every day. Don't let me miss a day. Not calling, she'll get on me. But when I call, as soon as I say hello, she started laughing. And all my sisters and brothers and nieces, if they be in the house, when mom answered the phone, as soon as she said hello and then started laughing, they said, oh, there ain't nobody but Frank. Wonder what kind of lie he telling her today. But I did that because I love her. And anything that I want to talk about, I can talk to my mama about. The worst part of my life to me was that I didn't have, when I was a little kid, my mama was the one who tried to talk to me about sex. I was so embarrassing and ashamed, because I got all these brothers, and I go talk to them, but here my mom, she jumping in there because she trying to play all role, telling her, y'all better not be going out there trying to make no babies and all that. And I gotta say, out of all of us, boys, we don't have, all our kids is with our wives. We ain't got a whole bunch of kids running around that don't know or nothing of that nature. So it was that was part of it, because mama would always tell us, you don't want to treat nobody a way that you don't want to be treated yourself. So if you treat yourself right and do right, God gonna take care of you in the right way. When you do stuff wrong, it's gonna come back on you sooner or later. So we try, so mama could tell me a bunch of stuff. Like I when I married my wife, I was in the Army. I was 19. I had to get my mama to sign for me to marry Alice because I wasn't 21. But yet still I'm in the Army. But that was back then, the old law. Girls were grown at 16, boys weren't grown till they 21. I don't know how that came about or what the rule, but that's the way it was. And that's the way that people treat us. And even, like I said, when I was in the Army, I wanted to marry my wife, and I'm in Georgia. My wife in Fort Wayne, mama's in Mississippi, and in Tennessee. And I had to call her, and I had to send her a letter so she could notarize that she gave me permission to marry. So that's why I be telling my wife, you better be glad your mother-in-law signed for you, because I would have been gone. But I've been there with 54 years now. I'll be telling all that stuff, but I felt I was blessed. God blessed me when he gave, my wife. I haven't had to go out and look for no other women and all that stuff. For 54 years, I had one wife, one woman. And that's part of life. A lot of people don't believe that you can still go love your wife without cheating on her. I ain't nothing cheating. I ain't got no money to give no other woman. One woman getting everything now. But I ain't got nothing for a second and third and fourth one. This other guy was trying to get, no, he was trying, you know, so he trying to date her too. And I got her in the car. I told her, I'm gonna make you love me. I don't care what you do. And you going, that other person, he gonna get out the picture. And I watch what I'm gonna make you love me. And how I make you love me is being good to you. Be nice to you, treat you equal. We are 50-50. You got your mind, I got mine. We don't agree on everything. If you do, shit, you just got a robot. I don't want a robot. I want a person, an equal. And that's what I got with my life. We equal. We both do it. We're got a lot of similar ideas we like together and all that stuff. There is some things that she like, I don't like it, but we don't fall out about it. We just, you have a right not liking it, I have a right not liking it either. So go on and do whatever you got to do. I mean, you take, with these guns, once you take somebody's life, you not only mess yourself up, that person, that life you took, you destroy a part of his family. He won't be able to have any more kids. The kids that he, if he had any, they can't go out and see them anymore. Can't make no more babies. You can't do a whole lot of stuff. You just locked up in jail. For what? Because someone said a few words that you didn't like, or when all you gotta do is walk away. And another thing that I don't understand about these young people today, it's this bullying, on text bullying on the computers, and they texting you or however they can explain. All you gotta do is turn the thing off. Turn it, hear a letter from Marvin. Oh, Frank, you're dumb and crazy. I'm gonna kick you this, I'm gonna do that to you. And what I supposed to respond? Yeah, let me meet you over here. We're gonna shoot it out at this. For what? Because a couple of words, or somebody said something, or you don't like the way I looked at you, or you don't like the way I said something to you, or you said this to my cousin. And my friend, these my friends, you don't mess with them. And all that for what? What you done gain? You ain't getting them but messed up a whole lot of family. Not only yours, the person's life you done dealt with, all their family, they won't see them anymore. And your family ain't gonna see you anymore because you locked up too. But y'all in those two boxes. That's what I'm talking about, two boxes. One box is in jail, the second box is in the grave. And I want to be in that middle row where I'm still alive, walking around and able to do. And so if these young people think, they need to know, like once we had that scared straight, where they take young kids to the jail, how to let them see it, especially if they little bad kids and run around. No kid is not bad. They're only bad because you let them be. Every bad child got someone that they love and respect and listen to. I don't care how bad they are. And if you start showing them kind of respect and they get you can bring anybody with the love and caring and understanding. That's all it takes. And once you start doing that, you ain't gonna want to kill nobody, cause that's gonna be on my mind. If I haul up and kill you, that's on my mind the rest of my life. Because yeah, I killed him. I shot him. What you shooting for? Oh, he said my shoes were dirty, and I didn't like the way they. He didn't like the way they looked. Cause he got Jordan, I got this. So what? They on your foot, ain't they? You walking around, you got something on. Now, when you take a life and you go to jail, you ain't got no choice. Nothing. You do everything that man up in prison tell you to do. The prison guards do. And you doing that for the rest of your life, man. If you go to the prison and ask them, the crime that you did, the time that you're doing in jail, do you think it was worth it? Would you want to change? No, if you had a second thought, a second chance, would you do the same thing again? And I bet you 85% of them would say no. I wouldn't do the same thing if I know this is what I'm going to get. And this the hurt I done did to all these other people. Not only the person I hurt, but my family too. Because my family won't be able to see me. I can't see them. I can't do this. I'm back in the box. So on the way to get out that box, throw them guns away. Put them up. It's about stepdad, stepmom. I have never, and still to today don't believe in no such thing as step, because they are people. They're either your dad or your stepdad. No, you say your stepdad. Is he walking on top of you? He taking care of you because your real dad ain't nowhere in the picture. Mm-hmm. Most likely, 90% of the time, your real dad ain't even in the picture. So, but you're gonna call this person that taking care of you step. They're not stepping, they're showing you love by accepting you as you are. Although you don't belong to me, you're not my blood, but you are mine once you live in my household. You stay in my house, I don't know where you get stepped from. Because if he taking care of everything in the house, normally, I'm gonna go over there to your dad and ask your dad to do this. No, you can't find him. Oh, no, he locked up. Well, who taking care of you? Who do for you that your dad, your real dad can't do? Your stepdad, what they call your stepdad. That's just a word that I just don't like the word step. Just call it, either he gonna be your dad or not. Or she gonna be your mama or not. She ain't no stepmama or stepdad, because they doing stuff just like you are their own child. So if you their own child, why are you calling them step?
Because I got right now a situation in essence too, where I got like a little girl that's calling me that as well too in my household. And most people I'm pending the question that they're gonna be like, well, how do I feel about that? And I'm like, I don't feel no other way, because she's not stupid. You insulting her, you insulting that baby's intelligence, and that's how you know there's a God. How does that little girl know that? She not dumb. She know there's supposed to be a daddy in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless. So like you said, as long as you doing everything in that household, so I accept it, because she gonna be confused either way when she realizes it for herself. Right now, we ain't got time to be sitting here trying to have a 18-year-old conversation with a 3-year-old. You know what I mean?
Like most time, see, when you get married to someone that already have kids, mm-hmm. the first thing they're gonna say, well, you the stepdad, or you this. You're not a stepdad. because they're in your house.
It's a title.
And so it's just a title people use, but it don't explain the purpose of it.
Because what y'all missing, what they missing, the point of it is the principles that come with the title. When you come in my household, this is the standard that we go by. Anybody that come in here, you got a roof over your head, you gonna eat, we gonna take care of you, but it goes right back to what we was talking about. You gonna do what you told. They ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about none of that. And that's what's missing in society.
That is exactly what's missing, because you don't understand how hard. Here it is. You works every day. You do this, and but most kids that say stepdad is because somebody else in the family. Oh, that ain't your dad. That ain't your real dad. A stepchild, if you treat them good, treat them like they're yours, they will become yours, and they will defend. Oh, that's my dad, not my stepdad. That's the one I see when I'm hurting, I'm sick or something at night. Who I'm calling? I don't holler, stepdad, come here. You say daddy. You call him dad or some dad, they have where you call them by their name, Frank or whatever. If you're fine with that, that's you. And that's one thing you shouldn't make a child do. Call you something that they don't want to call you. Like if you some stepfathers or stepmoms have kids in the house, well, don't be calling me John or Mary. You call me dad or nothing. And a lot of them don't want to call you nothing. So step parents, they be the one that do more for your child than the real parents do once they get you in their household. And so there's a few that you should call step when they come in. I'm gonna buy this. This is my daughter. And this boy here, that's somebody else's child. So I'm gonna give you this, give my daughter everything. And then I'm gonna let him walk around without no shoes. Then that is a stepdad. That is, when you start showing different in the kids, they don't know no different. All they do is see who in the household. As long as you treat me right and they treat themselves right, they're happy. Kids are happy. It be somebody on the outside, an auntie or uncle or cousin or friend of the family that don't like you, the step person or whatever. And now you know that ain't your dad, so you better not be saying this, cause he'll get you, he'll leave you or something. And a lot of people feel that they gonna be left out of things that they do. But once you include the kids, when I go on vacation, I'm taking all my kids on vacation. Everybody in the house. Right. Unless they plan that ain't nobody, y'all all going to, the kids going to a babysitter or whatever. But step parents, they don't get credit for a lot of stuff that they do. And it's really something to take in somebody else's child. But you just love the child itself. That's it, the person. And as long as they're being treated that way, that's your family. And then most kids, when they get out of their family, lose their father in jail, and whoever is the step parents that they call step parents, they the one that with your child all the time, day in, day out, night. They don't get a break, and then they don't. That's how a lot of them lose focus on their family. Once if your lady marries somebody different, then she gonna hang with that family. But the child family that they had together with another man, that man family, most time they don't even see the kids. Cause the stepdaddy that got in there doing everything, and the other family, they just drift away. They don't call. Well, I don't want to interfere with them because they ain't. I don't like him, so I ain't gonna do this. But the kid, long you feeding them, give them something to do, and don't abusing them, they love you, and that's all. They become, and you become their family. But some family, how do you say it? Just for instance, if I had married another woman and Alice got 2 kids and I left her and went to another family, once I go to that other family, most people stop dealing with the ones that they had in the first go around. And cousin, grandmom, they even switch grandmamas. Get from a real grandmama to a step grandmama. Because they don't try to keep the kids in their life. That's what you know. Regardless who your parent is, who is your daddy, your mama, or whatever, they family have a right to be involved in your life just like everybody else. And a lot of people, once you remarry somebody else, they cut the whole family out of their life, the other family out of their life, the kids too. Every now and then, they would see some the other cousin, and then you forget who is your relatives because you never around them, you don't know them. And I know I got a bunch of cousins that I have never met, don't know their name. I know their mama and my grandmama and their mama and stuff like that. Their kids, I don't know nothing about them. Don't see them because we don't see each other. And if you don't know about it, how you gonna talk to someone that you don't understand or don't know nothing about?